Hey guys, how are you? Welcome into a Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt, BettingPros at BettingPros on Twitter. Every single morning we are here on BettingPros.com. Video for the YouTube or YouTube for video and wherever you get your audio podcasts. Always being brought to you by BetMGM, the $10 offer. Win $150 on any event. Use that promo code JUICE150 at BetMGM, BetMGM.com. JUICE150 for that promo code. $10 bet to win $150 on any event with BetMGM. Okay, so here's the thing about you East Coasters, and I used to be one of you. I could never do the Daily Juice living on the East Coast. Like never. So the biggest college basketball game of the year, or the day, or rather, Duke and Gonzaga, does not tip off till 10:30 Eastern time. Right now it's 10 o'clock. We got the fourth quarter going on for North Carolina and North Carolina State. We got Brooks Koepka at plus 110. We got that easy victory. Every bet being that easy would be nice. Did not even go to the back nine. Ended on the ninth, 4-3. The victory for Brooks Koepka just embarrassed Bryson DeChambeau. And, not that shocking, but glad that I talked to my guys who told me all about Brooks and the course and really what's been going on. Bryson DeChambeau was telling people that the course was set up very similarly to Augusta, which he does not play well at Augusta. So I wasn't shocked to see Bryson really struggle mightily and putt poorly. And that's just kind of the way he does. Bent grass greens, not great. So we got that right. But the other three bets are all undecided right now for tomorrow. So I apologize. I can't tell you what the record was because, well, I can't because I don't know. So I could never do the juice here on the East Coast. It's very good that I'm in Vegas because we get, I like my 4:30 start times for games and my betting day to be over at 9 p.m. and I can go to bed and I can tape the podcast and go to bed. So I'm taping the podcast here and look, I'm just going to do it and we're going to wrap and not know what the record was for Friday heading into a Saturday. Okay, so I've got three bets for you guys coming up here for one unit each, three rivalry games on Saturday because it's college football and I love to get involved in betting on rivalry games. Here's the thing, though. The numbers are moving a lot, so hopefully the numbers I bet tonight are the numbers you guys are going to get here in the morning when you're listening to this. I can't guarantee it, but hopefully they do kind of hold. They may swing and move. It's just because it's the end of the college football season. A lot of public money's in play here. People are out of work. They're not, they're on vacation, so they're going to be able to bet and watch games more closely, and so the numbers may swing and fluctuate. But I'll give you the numbers I've played on these games coming up here. Three bets, all one unit. Now, I will say this. I do have a bet on the Teofimo Lopez fight coming up against Kambosa. I'm going to do that. I'll give that to you guys coming up here in the Discord channel. And there's also a college basketball bet that I'm going to have as well. I'm just waiting on some last-minute information to come out on both those things. So I will have one more full unit in play on the Discord channel. And we'll do that coming up here, bettingpros.com/chat, or the link is underneath me here on YouTube to get into the Discord channel. I will post that coming up here at some point in the near future here during the day, during the morning. I will definitely post that. So definitely be following along on the Discord channel coming up for that. Okay, so let's get right into this here. Three games, one unit. Let's start with the Iron Bowl in Alabama at Auburn. Now, the number is 20. Alabama on the road here against Auburn. Auburn on the year, 5-6 against the number. Alabama 6-5 against the number. Now, Alabama on the road, 2-2 against the spread. At home, Auburn 3-3 against the number. But let's dig a little deeper here into Bo Nix at home because Bo Nix on the road has been a disaster in his career. Same thing this season. But at home, the only win of note for Auburn this year is against Ole Miss, where they won by 11 points as 3-point favorites. Against Georgia, they were catching 14.5, and they lost by 24 points. Two games against nonsense teams, against Akron, and just winning it by 50 and 62 in the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm throwing those games out. Yeah, they covered, but I don't think it matters. Last time at home against Mississippi State, laying 6, they lost by 9. This is a team that's lost 3 games in a row. They're trending in the wrong direction. They've got a bunch of injuries, and I just don't think Bo Nix's team is going to rise up here during the Iron Bowl. I know 20 points is a lot to lay here, but Alabama's been hearing all about Georgia and all about how they might miss the postseason, and I just think this is a game everyone's going to bet Bama in the first half. I mean, maybe that hits, okay? Maybe that does. But the Alabama first half bet has been such a winner for the books here, primarily, that I just can't really get into this and say, yeah, Bama in the first half. Sure, maybe they're killing Auburn, and maybe I'm being opened up for a backdoor. But I think Auburn runs out of gas here in the second half, and I think Alabama wins this game by 21 points or more. I like it under 21. Don't bet it over 21. I got it at 20. Alabama minus 20 in the Iron Bowl on the road to put up kind of a statement here as they head towards the SEC championship game against Georgia. Let's go Bama on the road at Auburn on the Plains, putting up a big victory. I think it's going to be somewhere around like a 35-14 type of win. Okay, I don't think they're going to win by 50. I don't think Auburn scores very much, and I do think Alabama's going to score quite a bit here into the upper 30s for the Crimson Tide. I think they beat Auburn and they cover that 21 point spread. Bama minus 20 for one full unit. Second game, Ohio State at Michigan. Happens to be the first game of the day. Ohio State at Michigan. Everyone is on Ohio State, and when I mean everyone, I mean everyone is on Ohio State, and it's insane, okay? This number is 8. It's been ping-ponging, but 8 is the number I want. Michigan plus the 8 at home. I know Jim Harbaugh, I was getting confused, but Jim Harbaugh, I know Jim is not great against the spread. He's been really, really poor against the number, been really, really poor, and everyone's saying Ohio State's going to kill Michigan. I might be getting in front of the wrong team here. I might be backing a loser. I might get killed. But Ohio State at Michigan, 9-2 against the spread for Michigan this season. 5-1 at home against the spread. 8-2 over their last 10. 4-1 over their last 5. And they've covered 3 straight games. Okay? I know Ohio State is Ohio State, but this is a monster rivalry game with a monster home field advantage for Michigan. And Ohio State is 6-4-1 against the spread. They're 2-1-1 on the road this year. They're just 3-2 against the spread over their last 5 games. They had a tough time on the road last time out on the road at Nebraska. They only scored, they were 14-point favorites, and they won the game by 9. I know Purdue and Michigan State were both at home. This is back on the road here for Ohio State, and I know everyone's talking about the Heisman Trophy here, and it's going to be, here comes this Buckeye offense and blah, 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 okay? Michigan plus 8 is simply just a play on the numbers. This number has not gone higher than 8. It should be 10. It should be a 10.5. I mean, it should be so much higher given how much money is coming in on Ohio State. We've seen this before. This is one of the marquee games of the entire weekend, and the books are telegraphing this a little bit, that they think this number is a little bit too high already. The look-ahead number was 4.5. It's now 8. Give me the points. I'm taking Michigan plus 8. Michigan plus 8 at home against Ohio State. Maybe I'm the only person on the planet going ahead and doing this, and maybe I'm going to regret it beyond all belief, but I'm taking Michigan plus 8 at home against Ohio State. And lastly, let's talk about Bedlam. Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. 5-6 for Oklahoma this year on the road. Against the spread. On the road, they're 1-3 against the number. Oklahoma State has covered 9 consecutive games. They're 5-0 on the road, but 4-2 at home. 9-1 over their last 10 games against the spread for Oklahoma State. Favored by 10 last time out on the road against Texas Tech, won by 23. Favored by 11.5 in their last home game against TCU, won by 46 points. 3.5 on the road to West Virginia, they won by 21. Last time out, Oklahoma beat Iowa State by 7 as 3-point favorites at home. They lost to Baylor in their last road game as 4-point favorites. They lost by 13. On the road against Kansas, 38-point favorites. They won by 12. This is not a typical Oklahoma team. Okay, this game is in Stillwater. This number was 3.5. It's now 4.5. If you can get a better number than this, I like this bet even more. However, I do think this is Oklahoma State's defense that's going to be the big difference here in this game. I just think there's too much inexperience on that Oklahoma sideline. I think there's something to be said about a 14.8 points per game defense for Oklahoma State here and a chance to shut down Oklahoma's offense and then turn around with their offense and run the football 4.4 yards per clip, 209 yards rushing per game. This team can run the football and play ball control. I don't hate the under in this game, under 50, but you guys know how I feel about playing totals. Just look what happened to NC State and in North Carolina. I went back to a total. I think I lost it tonight because we're in the fourth quarter and it's 24-21. So I probably blew that. So I need it to be 34-31, not 24-31. So I'm not great at betting totals here. I'm just going to lay the 4.5 points. I know there are better numbers. I'm betting into a worse number, but I think this is Bedlam. I think the home team here laying 4.5 points against Oklahoma. I know defenses, I know in rivalry games, crazy things can happen. I think Oklahoma State wins the game by 7, but they could win it by double digits. In particular, if you start seeing mistakes being made, I don't care who plays quarterback for Oklahoma. Both quarterbacks for Oklahoma throw picks and turn the football over. I'm gonna lay the 4.5 points here. 1 unit, Oklahoma State at home against Oklahoma in Bedlam. Okay, so 3 bets. 3 units in play. I will have another unit in play that I'll give to you guys on the Discord channel. It's a boxing bet and maybe a boxing parlay, and it's also going to be potentially a college basketball bet that I'm going to get involved with later on today, so definitely be checking out the Discord channel as I'll post those a little bit later on. But again, 3 bets, all 1 unit. We're going Alabama minus 20 in the Iron Bowl at Auburn. We're going Michigan plus 8 against Ohio State in the big game, as they call it. Michigan at home plus 8, and we're laying the 4.5 points with Oklahoma State at home against Oklahoma. Okay, couple of favorites, 2 favorites, 1 dog. Rivalry Saturday on a college football Saturday. It doesn't get much better than this, man. A whole lot of fun. 3 units in play. Best of luck to us. We'll keep going with this vacation daily juice stuff. I'll be shifting locations. I won't be in the hotel tomorrow. I'll be at my in-laws tomorrow for a couple of nights and then be in New Jersey for a night before heading back to good old Vegas for where we'll be taping the Wednesday edition of the podcast coming up here from when I get back home on Tuesday. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.